Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts, Aaron Carlson, Charles Lawson, and Samantha Hanna. Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, hello there.
We finally,
Yes.
we have been working on this for quite some time.
Yeah, it's been a minute. We've been trying. How long have we been trying to get her on? Sam?
Well, we have had to reschedule, twice now? Twice we did?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So this is our third. Yeah, once was you and once was us, right?
Yep.
Third time's a charm?
We did it. Yeah.
Third time's a charm. That's right. You see her screen moving? I know you've got that one of those cool screens, and when you move, it moves, right?
It's a studio display. It's
Yes.
because
I
I
love that.
edit
Yeah.
for film purposes. The new Macs do that.
Yeah, that is badass.
I love it.
I love
Wait,
it.
I gotta fix my settings. Mine doesn't do that shit.
That's fucking dope. I know we have those at
I feel
work.
like I'm so bright. Like I need to darken things up or something
Oh
to
no,
match
you're
up.
fine. We
yeah.
do that. We do that to hide
We
ourselves.
look better in the
Feel a
dark.
little moodier.
I pump up the grain to hide my imperfections.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well, Dawn Jones Redstone.
Yeah.
I like saying that name.
I know, it's fun, right?
It's just a cool name. I love it.
Wait,
Dawn
look at your
Jones
names.
Redstone.
That's so funny.
Yeah. That's. Thanks, Sam, for
Do you
that.
really want me to call you asshole?
I'm used to
You
it.
can.
Totally
yeah.
fine. Yep, it works for me.
He fits the bill.
Yeah, people around town now say, "Hey, Aaron, how you doing?" And I'm just keep walking. I don't even recognize my name anymore.
That's funny.
Anyway,
Yeah, everybody
thanks.
still calls Sam Sam because sometimes saying her name in public is offensive.
Yeah, could be. Boo-boo.
I'm just feeling a little vanilla between the lighting and the name.
You're doing just fine. You're
Yeah.
Well, you didn't have to change your name. You've got a cool name. We changed our names to the
Yeah, 'cause we
fucking
don't
Chuck,
have
Aaron,
cool
and Sam.
We don't have cool names.
not at all. Aaron, Chuck, and Sam. Aren't those just the lamest names?
Kind
Let's
of,
try it. Let's try it. Samantha.
Aaron.
Well, actually, Samantha Hanna. That doesn't sound too bad.
Okay.
Chuck Lawson. That's not too bad. Aaron Carl.
With that radio voice, it all sounds cool.
Yeah, Chuck, you say him. You say him, Chuck. Say the names.
Charles Edward Lawson II. Now that's an official name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aaron Carlson. And then, of course, we have the lovely, beautiful, and sensational Miss Samantha Hanna.
And now say Dawn.
Well, I always just want to make it harsher than it is,
Just say it.
Dawn Jones Redstone.
You see
Because
how cool that is?
Badass. It just sounds badass.
It's funny now. I think there's a trend with filmmakers to make your name more unique.
Yeah.
So people often have these three, but that is my legit last name because I used to be a Jones and then my wife was Redstone. And so we merged so that we have a daughter. We all wanted to have the same last name.
All right.
Oh,
That's
okay, yeah, that
cool.
makes
Priority over one. So,
For sure.
but it's really confusing because everyone's like Jones, Redstone. There's no hyphen.
But
no
it
one
goes
knows what your
together
name
really
is.
well.
It
fits
does.
really well together. So that
I
way.
love
Okay,
it.
I want to ask this question because it comes in all types of couples who do this, and sometimes you mix your names.
Yeah.
How do you do? Okay, so in that decision, how do you decide whose name goes first?
Ooh.
I think it was about the sound of it, the ring
Yeah.
to it.
Mhm.
Because Redstone Jones,
Jones, Redstone.
it doesn't sound as cool.
Actually, it's
Yeah.
not bad. Dawn
No,
Redstone Jones.
I mean, it doesn't
Yeah,
sound
you
bad.
got to drop
no,
the.
but,
Oh,
but
I actually
Jones
don't
sounds
remember. You know what's worse? There's a cool thing. We were on Oregon Public Radio because we got married during there was this brief period of, this is a whole story, sorry.
No.
No, let's
Brief
hear
period
it's
it.
a
of
show. Go
time
ahead.
and-
Keep talking.
It's
Spot-
your
They were
show.
letting people get married and they were letting same-sex couples be married. It closed up. It was only this short brief moment in time. So everyone went downtown and we were waiting in line. And I was only in line that I realized that we were going to have to give them our names for the marriage license. And it was this whole crisis. We were like, what are we going to do with our names? Because it was that was it. It was going to be permanent. You have to pay a bunch of money to change it again.
Right.
So we came up with it while we were in line.
That's
Like,
badass.
well, I mean, what else do you have to do while you're standing in line?
No, that's a good way to do it.
I mean, that's a good way to pass the time.
It was like a social event. It was fun.
Well,
That
that's
is
great.
cool.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Around the Reel.
Welcome to Around the Reel.
Rolling go around the room.
And we've got another filmmaker on our show today.
Yes, we
Dawn
do.
Jones Redstone.
Yes.
I'm so glad you're here. This is
Yes.
awesome.
I'm glad
finally.
to be here.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's exciting.
So
exciting.
Are you used to hearing your entire name every time it's spoken? Because I don't think anybody's going to call you Dawn today.
No,
I know.
probably
Probably not. No, because we have to say the whole cool thing. Yeah.
Yeah, or I might just say Redstone because I think that's kind of cool too.
No,
Oh yeah.
that's the
So
way
Aaron has
get
a
under
question.
my skin. No,
Aaron has a question
Jones.
about Redstone. Is that Native American?
Okay. Oh God, this is another deep.
No, let's
deep
hear it.
thought.
Let's go
No,
deep.
that is a name that's part of my wife's family. But she also changed her name because she had her identity stolen,
Oh,
and they said it was like one of the only ways to like thoroughly separate.
Oh wow.
And be safe. So she changed her name to Redstone.
So she chose that.
Yeah, she did.
how
It was
cool.
it's a name that's within her family history.
okay.
But she chose that name, and then it's just interesting because I'm Mexican American, but as you know, most Mexicans are partly indigenous, and a mix of people, and that is like, if you look at my DNA, it says that I'm mostly Native, but I'm culturally just more familiar and identify as a Mexican American.
Okay.
But
Got it.
for my whole life, especially in Portland, where it's it's a mostly white place, like when ever since I've moved here, people have asked me if I'm Native American, and I mean I am. I'm just not. It's not how I culturally identify. I'm out of touch. I've lost the connection.
I get it because I'm a white man that just happens to be black, and that's for real. It's real. It's real. I swear to God. I should change my name to like Black Star. That's what I should do. Go back to the Saturday morning cartoon. Aaron Blackstar. Dude, that's badass.
I mean, it's all a bunch of bullshit.
It is really. I mean, if you really think about it, it is bullshit, and that's why I was like, let's move on before Aaron gets embarrassing here.
That's true. Sorry. I'll stop.
No, but it is all silly. I mean, we're all a mix of everything, honestly.
We really are.
Yeah.
So
We really
we're all
are.
just people.
We really are.
Yeah, we are.
It's wild. It's wild that we can even get divisive the way we do, considering that we all just inhabit this place. It's like fucking weird.
I don't think anyone
weird.
is purebred anything anymore. So
No.
for
Yeah.
anyone to be like racist or weird is just weird to
It's
me.
stupid.
It's strange.
It's just a dumb thing.
But yeah,
what do I know?
it's super dumb.
I'm just a minority, right? Anyway.
Oh my god. The only bad part about the whole cultural thing lately is that, am I a Karen? Do I fit into the Karen?
Not at all.
Oh.
No.
I don't know. Talk to us, white girl. Tell us what you really think.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, I get called a Karen, so.
No, you do not.
Why would you? Who calls you a Karen?
You have to
just
do
my
something. It's
kids
about a
make fun of
behavior,
me.
I think.
My
Yeah.
kids make fun of me. They just say I could be a Karen.
I've never seen you once, like, can I see your manager? I've never seen that in you, ever. Never. You would never say that. You know what I mean? She is not a Karen. That's silly shit.
No, and then Eva will be making fun of white people, and I'm like, Eva, what is your mother? And she's like, Mom, you're not white.
Right? Yeah. 'Cause it's a thing. It's
I'm
like the
so
Karen
white.
thing.
Like,
Yeah, whiteness is the thing.
Our daughter is mixed, and she's white on the outside, but she's
Thank
got
goodness.
this really black kind of thing. She
Attitude,
loves black
you
people
know.
so much. She loves them. And
It grows as she gets
the
into her
culture
teenage
and
years.
everything.
yeah, but I think when she says, "Oh, these white people," she's just saying like the Karen thing. It's just a state of mind. It's a certain style of
Yeah.
attitude that certain white people have. Not all of
Yeah.
them.
No.
That's
So
all.
she's stereotyping.
Pretty much.
She is
yeah.
stereotyping, which is
Yeah.
Yeah, but not all of them. Not all of them. If they do the, she's making fun of that white. You know.
Motherfucker, that's just how I laugh.
You know that. You know that.
What a funny conversation. But
Well, this is our show. This is what we end up doing. But anyway, let's.
It's nice that we're not talking about ourselves for the first 15 minutes in this episode.
Absolutely.
Well, we were.
Well, we kind of were.
Yeah, we were.
A little bit. Anyway, Dawn.
I'm white. You're white. We're all.
Well, okay, so John, what is your middle
We're all
name? Since
something.
you have taken your last name and
Oh.
your wife's last name, what's your middle name?
I
You
don't
have
have
four
one
names.
anymore.
You are a person who
No,
should be fun
I
to
got
get
rid
in
of it.
trouble.
You got rid
In
of
that
your
line,
middle name?
we
Okay.
decided. I was like,
Okay.
I've never used my middle name for anything ever. Don't need it.
Wow. See, and
Got
Chuck,
rid of
when
it.
you were saying my name, I was almost like, throw my middle name in there because it sounds better.
Yeah.
I
kinda
like
does.
I like
Samantha
my
Jane.
apologize.
Samantha Jane.
Samantha
Yeah.
Jane.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I actually say that
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that is. I say that a lot, actually.
I know
Samantha
you
Jane.
It is kind
I just
of,
realized that.
kind of
When she's in
flows,
trouble. So.
Well,
Maybe, probably. I'm always in trouble.
all right. So, Dawn, I think we should get to know you.
Yes, we
and,
should.
And what you do and why you do it.
So
All that good
besides your
stuff.
name, which we already covered, and your nationality, which we already covered, and other things, besides those things, tell us who you are.
Okay, yes. I am a filmmaker living in Portland, Oregon, and the main reason people want to talk to me these days is because I've made a feature film called Mother of Color. I've made shorts for a long time, and in 2020, I decided it was time to level up and embarked on the major task of making a feature film. And it's been a journey. I'm still on the journey as I move into distribution phase. But it's also just been incredible. So it is definitely a huge part of my identity to be someone that makes films that people watch and hopefully connect with. And yeah, it's really cool. I'm having a great year on the festival circuit with the film.
That's wonderful.
Awesome.
Good for you.
That's great.
You picked one of the best years to try to make a movie, by the way.
2021.
Oh, yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was great. Great time. Great time to do it.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely
Yeah.
great time.
Wow,
How-
yeah.
Oh my gosh, COVID was just.
I know,
this-
it was rough, right?
Everything. It was just.
You had to get like certified to be on set.
well, what was your experience like trying to make that first feature during a pandemic?
Well, we were gonna try to make it in 2020, and that just didn't make any sense. And then everything was shut down, and just we were just like, okay, we gotta wait, which helped me in some ways because I continued to work on the script and kind of incorporated some of the things that were happening in the world into the film.
Saw that.
Yeah,
Saw
we saw that, yeah.
Good. It's good.
Yeah, especially in terms of the protests that were happening here in Portland. That's kind of in the film. It's documenting this moment in time. And it when we pushed it out, that helped me just have more time because it was terrifying. Like the thought of trying to raise the amount of money that you have to raise to make a feature film and pay people like even halfway decently, not well, but halfway decently as an indie film. It gave me more time to prepare. So by 2021, we had a team, my producers, Tara Johnson-Mettinger and Ashley Song came on board, and they were the ones that were like, you just start walking and we're going to lay down the tracks ahead of you and we'll get it done together. And, we all three were producers, but during actual filming, like they were incredible. We actually had an office. I've never had an office for a film before where we had so many people coming through and places to store props and meetings. And there's this thing like, yes, it's hard. Yes, it's crazy at the time, but it's also just like this thing that I've dreamt of doing for so long.
Right,
so,
right.
All of that just like makes it worth it. You like love every minute of insanity of it.
Absolutely.
I should probably say a little bit about like what the film's about.
Yes,
maybe.
please.
You
please.
should, yeah.
keep going.
We were able
It's
to
good to
watch.
keep
We were
talking.
able to watch quite a bit of it. It kept messing up, and several times we tried to watch it, and it kept stopping and stopping. So we kept going.
It never let me in.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
that's weird.
yeah.
Was
Anyway,
it a Vimeo
so
link?
yeah, it was a Vimeo link that.
Yeah, and Vimeo usually is rock solid for
Usually.
screeners
Yeah.
and stuff too.
It
I
was
don't know.
really
It could have been
weird.
us. I don't know.
And I should have probably asked for a new version, but we did get to see
We got about halfway
quite a
through
bit.
it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got about halfway. And let me just say, what an amazing message and story that you're telling there, and what an important thing to put out there and say. And I think that's why people are probably trying to get your oh, come on my show and my show and my show, because because how not everybody can do that type of a story and send that type of a message. Not everyone can do that, and so that's incredible. That's amazing. And then not only are you the diversity in your story is great. It's great. It's a good story.
It's great.
Awesome.
Yep,
Yeah, and
absolutely.
it's stories
Totally
that need to be told. So tell us about how you came up with that.
Yeah, and what it's about.
Okay, so the story is about a single mother of two who starts receiving these messages from her ancestors right at the same time that she finds out she has a chance to interview for this position she's dreamt of with a local commissioner. And so over the course of the story, she's trying to get to this job interview while at the same time trying to figure out like what these messages are about and how they're going to intersect with what she needs to do in order to be where she needs to be in her life. And it's inspired by Ana del Rocio, who is the star of the film and is also like a local political figure here in Portland, also a single mother of two who has had to deal with all this. And I've known her for a while. She had been elected to the local school board. And we'd worked together on a short film. And I've been so impressed with her, who she is. Like, she's someone you meet and you're just like, you should be president. Like, she just has that leadership and understanding of policy and like, confident ideas that are just, she's just an amazing person. But at the same time, like, how does she do it? How can you have two young kids and, juggle all of that? And it's super hard. But one of the things that the film is also about is that that's exactly who you need to be in office. Like, people that are struggling with, we don't want people that are kind of left out of policy to never be the people making policy.
Absolutely.
That's who we want making policy.
Right.
Yeah, I get
exactly.
it.
Yeah, the people who are dealing with real life
she and I collaborated on. I conducted a series of interviews with her, and there's like elements of her life that are like a few like scenes are actually moments she experienced, but they're kind of I've riffed with them, and then a whole bunch of it is made up and just from my own experiences with energy work and just thinking about my ancestors. But we definitely talked a lot back and forth, and I was kind of then using that to shape and put together a screenplay. And so she's definitely a huge part of the film, and it's just been cool to take it. I was just at San Antonio Film Festival and showing that with mostly Latino audience, and that was a very different experience than screening at other places. And
what
just
kind
like
of
what they were
reaction
connecting.
I bet.
did you get?
Yeah.
It was a
What
great
they were
positive reaction.
Yes, no, I'll be like, people come up to me afterward. I mean, it's mostly like single moms, honestly, come up to me and they say, that was my life. Like I hid that I was a single mom at work for so long. Or, somebody wrote me from a festival in New York, I had a screening, I had a Q&A afterward, went home and was like, I have no idea what the audience thought. And then months later, someone popped up on Instagram and was like, I'm still thinking about your film. I'd love to meet you someday. I have so many questions. That's my story and it's helping me. That's the thing that makes it all worth it after you.
Hell yeah, it does.
For sure.
Isn't that fucking cool? Isn't that the best feeling ever?
It's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fucking cool. I love it. I love it so much.
And you have so many different aspects of life that so many people can identify with that, with your movie and connect with your movie. No matter if it's, the minority thing, or if it's the single mother thing, or there's so many aspects of life that people deal with every day that I think everyone can connect with the movie. And I kind of wondered if Aaron was gonna like it, but he was hooked.
Yeah, it's
and
the
he
struggle.
was into it.
It's the struggle, It's the little things that you kind of everybody goes through.
Yeah.
That you put in. Pieces of the film, finding fucking childcare. It's not easy to do.
Yeah.
And then you see how much it costs. You're like, Jesus Christ, is it worth even getting a fucking job for the fucking
Yeah.
phone?
Yeah.
Little shit like that. The kids in the fucking movie. I was like,
They were real.
We need to beat these kids' ass. That's where I was. I was like, they are all over the place. You got to tuck them in too. Look how old these kids are. They should be taking care of themselves. Jesus fucking Christ. I was getting mad. Kids are driving me up a wall, man. Trying to run down the street, get hit by a car almost, beat his ass in the street, put him in the car.
So real about
it's a funny point because it was written with younger kids, but when it came time for casting, we had to think about do we actually want it's hard.
It's hard.
real hard.
And I mean, I feel like we got really lucky with who we did get.
Oh, they did great.
They did.
But if they'd been much younger, it would have caused some difficulty.
I get it. I get
to
it.
do what you want them to do.
Yeah.
But I really like that aspect of what we were able to watch.
Well, it was
because
just so
it's
real.
It's real. Yeah, it's
So
real.
real.
Yep. Dealing with the boss at the job, all that stuff. You're just like, fuck, man. It's cool. It's cool.
And the daycare lady, come on now.
I know. Always got something to say every time you walk up.
Stop. Leave me alone. 5 minutes late and $10 short. Come on.
I know. Get out of my face. Yep. My mom wouldn't have put up with that lady at all. She would have lost her shit on her in the daycare.
That lady, she's like a real daycare owner.
Oh, no
and
kidding.
I think it was very brutal on her to do that because she's like the kindest
Oh, so she's like, I
person.
wouldn't
That's not what she
normally.
charges. Yeah.
That's fun. That's
Let
fun.
us use the space. Yeah, like
That's
she
fun.
agreed to be in that role. Like it's
Oh.
just kind of funny because it's
That's
none of the
wonderful.
people that are playing assholes in the film are actual
I
assholes.
got you, I got you.
Of course not.
The principal.
I mean, that's the funnest part to play when you're, especially
It
when
is.
you're a super nice person. Like, I want to play
Yeah.
the jerk.
Mm-hmm.
I really
Wait,
want to play the jerk.
as a filmmaker, aren't you legally obligated to not say who really is difficult to be on set? Just saying.
Yeah.
But not until you
no,
get to the 20-year mark of your film release. I mean, then you could actually complain about everybody. But right now, yeah, no,
Everybody was fine. Everybody's
No
great.
way.
Love them
She's
all.
not complaining about anyone.
I'm not saying anyone. I mean,
She's
honestly,
giving
anyone that
nothing but
touched
props.
this film and helped me make it in any way, I'm incredibly grateful.
It's a badass,
Yeah,
right?
you were-
Yeah.
There were no
bad seeds.
It was a problem. It was
that's
more
good.
just like logistical obstacles. So.
Yeah. Well, you were making short films, you said, for a while. So
Yes, I
you
think my
built up
first
your
short-
experience there.
Yeah, my first. So okay, let's see. I had a weird career because I've done a bunch of different things. I graduated from University of Texas Austin with like a geography with a concentration in Latin American studies, and then I moved out to Portland and worked as a carpenter for a while. I journeyed out. I was in the Peace Corps, and then I came back to Portland, finished my carpentry program, and then I taught for 9 years at a nonprofit helping women learn to do construction stuff, like in the classroom, out in the field,
Badass.
accessing living wage careers. But I started doing video along the way, and then I started doing it at work, and then I started making, doc style videos. And it wasn't until 2015 that I saw a play that my coworker had co-written about the experience of tradeswomen. And, I was just like, I love film. I've been making things. Here's something I know a lot about. Like, wouldn't it be cool to make a fictional film? It was kind of my first narrative short film. And so my coworker who had co-written the play became the producer. And it was kind of a combination of some of my experience from when I worked in the trades, as well as taking inspiration from her doctoral thesis on the experience of Black tradeswomen. And so, we told a story, and that short it kept going. I mean, it has distribution on Collective Eye. Folks can still watch it. It's mostly like universities and groups that continue, like the Department of Labor purchased it.
What's it called?
It's called Sista, Sista, in the
Okay.
Brotherhood.
Sister
Oh.
in the Brotherhood. Love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
But to make
it's like a
something
20-minute
that's
short.
used like educationally and inspirationally is amazing. Like, that's always been my dream, and I always go documentary style with all my stuff. But I always wanted, that's my dream, is to make a difference and just teach people things that they don't necessarily know.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Sam was going to make this amazing creature feature about a giant octopus that attacked
Oh,
a
she did
civilization.
make that.
But instead, she turned into a beautiful documentary about the giant Pacific octopus.
You
It's
did.
doing very well on 2D TV. There you go. There's your
Okay.
plug for the day.
Thanks for the plug, Chuck.
I love you.
Nice.
I did a documentary on the giant Pacific octopus. Yes, I did.
I see it. I see it in the background.
Yeah. Great movie. Great fun. Great experience, too.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
very-
I'm gonna
yeah.
look that up.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
what's funny is
thank
that everybody's got a different reason why they get into telling stories.
Yeah.
And we're all the same, but we all have a different reason to do it. It seems like, we all want something else. I'm still trying to
Fortune
figure out
and glory,
why
baby.
I want it. Yeah. That's right. I don't know why I still want it. Like, I know there's a lot of things that I get out of it and how I feel, right? But why? Why do I need those feelings? Like, why do I have to get these stories out there, whether they're narrative or help you with your docs? Why do I do this? Why am I doing this? And sometimes I think about it and I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea why. And I love it that people do have answers, because I don't fucking have one. And I've been doing this for 20-some years
I
now.
have an answer.
What is it?
Total answer.
What is it?
Well, I've always looked for a platform to express myself, and not just express myself, but to help other people.
Well, see, yeah,
Just
you've got a great
because of
answer.
the life I've lived, I always ever since I was, as long as I can remember, I just have had this feeling that I can do something for humanity, for people, for I can help people somehow, some way. And I'm not about like I can't do the medical field. That's nope.
Right.
I'm gagging all day long. But like something, you know, in the humanitarian kind of way, I felt that pulled towards that.
Well, you're very spiritual, so like the
yeah,
spirit,
very spiritual,
uplifting,
yes.
kind of motivational, inspiring kind of thing.
Yeah. And it's always good when you can teach people about things, because I think the world's biggest problem is the unknown. People don't like the unknown. I think people are afraid of gay people because they don't know that world. They don't understand it. They don't. Yeah, it's about understanding and in the unknown. And so when people don't know things, and so the more you can educate people about everything as much as you can, the more they're going to be kinder and understanding and willing to listen and willing to learn, I think, personally. And so I always look at film as a platform to do that, because if you can make something interesting enough for people to want to watch and also educational for people to pay attention, then you're doing it.
Okay.
And that's kind of my goal in doing documentaries, is that right there.
You actually kind of humanize everything to, you know, I always think like Silence of the Lambs. Okay. And when the mayor gets up there when her daughter's in the hole and she keeps saying her daughter's name over and over, and you see Clarice Starling go, oh yeah, that's brilliant. You know, they're making it, giving her a name makes the killer know that she's somebody, she's a person, she's not a thing. They try to save her. You know what I mean? Humanizing even the octopus you did. You humanize this thing so people could look at this creature, not in the light of it being an animal, but a living, breathing thing like them.
Well, for people,
and that's amazing.
Well, for people to understand other people or other things, they have to connect with it.
Okay.
So if you can bridge that gap, if you can find that connection between somebody and the unknown for them, or something they're afraid of, or something they're not used to, or whatever they don't know, then you are helping them understand that person or that you know, the octopus or anything, you know, like if you can do something special, which is put someone in someone else's shoes,
so they can identify.
Then you're doing it. Then you're making people understand other people's feelings or other people's place in life. And I think that's why I like you so much, Dawn, in your movie, because that's what you're doing. And I think that's important, especially in today's world, because so many people are so unknown of so many things that they're mean. But it's not that they're mean people or mean-spirited. It's that they don't know. It's the unknown that they're afraid of.
Right.
So I think bridging that gap is so important. And I feel like Dawn has contributed to bridging that gap, and I think that's why I think you're a great filmmaker. And your message is strong and powerful, and it's great.
Yeah. Okay.
The more people that the more that you educate people, the closer we're going to be as people.
I mean, I think of they called cinema the great empathy machine.
For sure, yeah. I can see
that is definitely how I see it. But it's funny because like I've made mostly dramas, and now after Mother of Color, I'm the two projects that I'm working on the most are comedies.
Wow.
Bring a little joy to everyone's life.
Well, see, but that still doesn't answer why I do it.
Well, we don't know, motherfucker.
We don't know about you.
You figure it out.
Because what am I doing? I'm telling stories.
You must like it. You must like it.
I just like it, I guess. That's
You're
it.
drawn to it. Yeah, you can't.
I guess
mean, that's
it.
what they say. Like, it's too hard to do it. So if you do it, it must be because you're driven to do it.
Yeah. I think that's maybe my answer from now on. When someone says, "Why are you doing this?" I'm like, "Because I like it. I like it.
I'm driven to do it.
I think I like it.
It makes me feel good at night when I go to bed.
I just like it. There's so many facets to me that I enjoy, but I don't have a deep message in the films that I produce or make, you know, or write. It's more or less because I like them.
Yeah.
I guess so, maybe.
It's
entertainment.
There's inevitably a message, even if it's entertainment, there's something there. There's something about you that's in it.
I'm always drawn to characters that, like your character, your main one, who won't quit, you know, no matter what. I'm from that Rocky era, you know. If you get hit, you get back up. I love that kind of character, you know, where no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many trials or tribulations this character goes through, they keep pushing forward. I love those stories, and that's why I create these monster stories or whatever. I remember watching what's the dragon movie, Chuck? Reign of Fire.
I was gonna say
Rain of Fire.
Dragonheart, you know,
Christian
I can start
Slater.
going.
Yeah, Christian.
You just stop.
Christian is standing there, and that dragon's in front of him. And that one shot I will never forget, when this thing is huge, massive in the background, right in front of him, and he looks this big, and he still holds his ground. To me, that single shot spells out the entire story of what this man's fear was and how he had to face it. And I think shit like that is cool as fuck. It gives me goosebumps. I fucking love that. I think that's why I make movies.
Well,
Okay.
you can send a message that way. I mean, just fiction, nonfiction, you can still send a message. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like if you make up a story, you can still put a message in there that's powerful and meaningful and inspirational. And I think that that's what movies does for people, just in general.
Yeah.
I think, you know, just like Aaron, the movies that we've watched, the last 2 movies we've watched, we've been bawling.
Crying our asses off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pussies.
Yeah. Oh, you watch Whale. See what that does to you.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Go ahead.
I
watch
just
it.
saw that. Yeah.
Whale, and what was the other one?
I am afraid to
Otto?
cry.
The Otto one.
It's Man Called Otto.
Yeah.
Kill you.
Okay,
Brutal.
both of those
Both of them
are
kick you right in the
killers.
balls.
They
Horrible.
will knock you out. You will be bawling. But you know what? Such
But you
powerful.
can connect to it.
Yeah, and such connection and stuff, and still inspiring. Totally not true stories, but true stories still.
Yeah, it's great. So
Good line. Yeah.
Yeah, when you can connect with something, I think that's the main thing. Is the connection, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. If you can connect to it, and it can inspire you,
yeah.
then that's the thing.
Hey, you guys. Coach Rick here with another installment of Coach's Corner. Are you giving your gift? I don't think I asked that question last time I did this, and I couldn't tell you when that was because it's been a while. We are in the middle of summer or nearing the end of summer, maybe. If you have children, you know that just means life gets busier. And I'm not making excuses here. That's not the whole thing. It's been a little struggle. It's been a little struggle to come back to the corner for all sorts of reasons. Do any of them matter? No, not really. The most important thing is this, that I love you. If you're listening to this, that's the truth. That's why I do what I do. And Coach's Corner is not what I do. It's one of the things I do. You know, I'm an actor. I'm an acting coach. I'm also a business coach and a life coach. And it's Wednesday night. I am coming off of my Wednesday night Zoom class, and it was a spectacular class, which is kind of par for the course. And not kind of, it is. I mean, it's just where the Actors Dojo is these days. Every class is extraordinary. And I put an invitation out to my other classes and said, hey, free class tonight if you want to join, because we had several people out of the regular Zoom class tonight. So I wanted some support for those participating. And one student popped on who already goes to my other 2 classes, interestingly enough. Beautiful. To witness people doing what they do, or to put it in terms of what I talk about, to witness people giving their gift. And ultimately, that's what this corner is going to be about. I try to start every installment, every episode, if you will. This isn't an episode, right? This is a mid-segment installment inside of and around the real episode. And Aaron has been kind to say, you know, it's always so awesome to hear these when I send them to him, and how they fit what's going on and how they even fit certain segments. But I like to start with giving your gift, right? And that's basically the foundation of the work that I do. And something that's come up somewhat recently inside of classes with students and something that occurred to me that happens inside of working with, inside of the personal development world and working with clients, is resisting your gift. Are you resisting your gift? Are you resisting giving your gift? This is a very real thing, guys, ladies, gentlemen. Because your gift is powerful, your passion is powerful. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. That's the beginning of that Marianne Williamson quote that a lot of people attribute to Nelson Mandela, because Nelson Mandela used it in his inaugural speech, but it comes from Marianne Williamson's book, A Return to Love. I don't care if you know who Marianne Williamson is, and if you do, I don't care what you think of her. That's an amazing quote, and that's just a part of it. I've used it before in another coach's corner. I'm not going to use the whole thing now, because just that first part really kind of says it all. We fear our greatness. We fear that glory of God that is within us, that we are here to share with the planet. Oh my gosh, how could you say that? Wait, who am I? Who are you not to be? Which she actually says later on. Who are you not to be? You are a child of God, made to... Anyway, I'm just going to keep going into that quote. And I don't want to be preaching about God, per se, because I know a lot of people are automatically, like, probably even stop listening since I just said the word God. You know what? Shut up. Get over it. Get over yourself. Stop being offended. You have a greatness inside of you. The same greatness that any other great person that has walked this planet before you has in them. The only difference between that great person is you and you is they weren't stopped by a conversation that takes place in between their ears. It's all from the neck up, because it most certainly is not connected to your heart. Because if your heart was not only connected, but actually leading, then that conversation in your head wouldn't win out, and you wouldn't quit. That's what I'm talking about when I say resisting your gift. It's those moments that you quit. It's those moments that you give in. It's those moments that you think you're less than. You are just as great as any other, because we are all great. We are all geniuses. I tell my students all the time, you have a supercomputer between your ears. Think about it. On some level, you can get that without really delving deep into it or even researching it. But the reality is that every single human being has a supercomputer between their ears. So why in the frick can there be people in this world that don't know how to read? Well, that's a failure of the system. That's not a failure of the computer. That's a failure of the people teaching that young mind and telling them that they're less than, as opposed to telling them that they are absolutely miraculous. Shame on you, by the way, if you're one of those teachers. you're a piece of shit. I have a student that was concerned with appearing slow or dim. And it was so beautiful because my other coach in a class told her how fast she was just a week later. How quick. And I had to stop and point it out. And I said, remember what you asked to talk to me about? Such a beautiful moment. And I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense to you, but what we got to was the power that teachers can have in the development of the student. Students are looking to teachers as authorities. I don't coach from the negative ever. I'm here to build you up. I'm here to have you realize your greatness. That's what I do. I'm not doing it to make money. I charge $35 a class. That's a 3-hour class. It's not a lot of money. It's worth a lot more. I know it is. I do it because I'm building a community. I do it because I want a community that's strong enough to sustain an industry where I can work year-round. And that's what I'm doing in Spokane. That's what I'm doing in the Pacific Northwest. And that's how I can contribute to that. I started showing up every week for myself. Yes, of course, it's in service of others, and that's the ultimate thing I think we can do in life, which is why giving your gift, right? It's a way to be of service as an artist, to give your gift, to give your art. And you know how to know how special it is? Do you know how you know that it's important and that it makes a difference? Because your own mind is going to talk you out of it. Your own mind is going to talk you out of it. I got a tummy ache. I don't feel good. I ... Fill in the blanks. Give me any of 1,000 excuses. I've put the challenge up to my class, to my students all the time. Commit to showing up, no matter what, every week for 1 year. And immediately you're like, I can't do that. I can't make that commitment. I have no idea what's going to happen. You know what? Bullshit. Because I've shown up every week for 7 fucking years. Or it's more than 7 years now. It was 7 years last May, and we're in August. Getting close to 7.5, right? Well, maybe not half, but what the fuck at this point? I've earned it. Okay. Yes, some holidays have been taken off, but also some holidays have actually had class. I have 1 sick day in those 7+ years, and I've got a couple of vacations in the last couple of years. Not the first 5. And I have a few for rehearsals, being called into a play. I've mentioned this before, but of course, some of you have never heard me speak. So that's the beauty of podcasting. We get to repeat ourselves. So all I'm saying is that the subconscious mind is what you're up against. It's you. You're up against you. And that resistance, that excuse, that reason, while it may feel real, while it may feel valid, isn't necessarily true. you got to be in bed, you got to be in bed. And I get that. That's fine. Only you will know. And when you're honest with yourself and you start showing up no matter what, you're giving your gift. Because when you give your gift, it's not just to the world, it's to your own self. It's to your own heart. So please, give your gift. I love you. Till next time.
So Dawn, what inspired you to write and get this film out there and do this, make this movie?
I mean, it really was Anna that started something. And then as we, that was the initial story. It was more just like the straightforward drama without what I call the kind of thriller element of the ancestors speaking. But when we took that, we had that year where we were like, okay, we need to wait till next year. And I was thinking about all the stuff happening in Portland and George Floyd's murder, and it just, like, I guess this idea of like a reckoning happening in our country where, we've gone for so long without properly acknowledging our racist past, and just like seeing how that might play out on an individual level in the backdrop of that. We were having the protests, we're seeing like these images of like kids in migrant labor camps along the border. Like there were just like so many things happening that just felt so wrong. And at the same time, dropping this character in who is like trying to figure out, what does it all mean? What is my place? How do we, acknowledge these things that have happened, but still find a way to like move forward and heal as a country, as an individual. So it's all kind of tied together in this, it's a little bit abstract. There's a little bit of like I think of movies as happening on different levels. There's like the structure and the plot. But then there's also just like sometimes, scenes like you feel something, and it's this whole other layer that you may be aware of consciously or subconsciously.
Goosebumps.
I get you.
Get goosebumps.
Yep.
Yeah, there's just like a feeling that happens. And there's like one scene that's exactly about like catharsis and healing. And I don't know if you got that far, but it's like the scene that everybody talks about. It's like kind of at the climax. And that moment has just been like so powerful to experience with audiences, and just feel like people are connecting with it, and finding something to latch onto in the film, even if they're not like a single Latina mother or something.
Right.
And just that, I mean, I've always made dramas, and so it kind of made sense that this would be a drama that I would make. But it's I am kind of in a different mindset now, and looking to I always have these messages, but I'm also thinking about being a little bit lighter and having some entertainment mixed in.
Oh,
I gotcha.
Please,
I'd watch a comedy all day long. I can't wait.
Please send a fresh link. I want to watch the movie. I couldn't even start it, unfortunately, through every time I clicked on, it kicked me off and said it wasn't available.
So Dawn, you don't have to do
please
that.
send me a fresh link so I can watch your damn movie.
I mean, of course, I'll send you a new link, because I don't know why that's happening. It could be that I changed something on my end, or that I changed.
Thanks. It's just change it free, nilly-willy. Just do whatever you want to do. Fucking do what you want. It's your movie. Change it how you go. Just fuck everybody. I want to watch it.
No, it was a struggle, and we were super invested. So we were going to ask you, like, please.
Yeah,
do you ever render to YouTube? I mean, give us the edit render. We don't care if it's not perfect. I want a story.
Well, we're filmmakers ourselves, so we understand those little nips and things.
Yeah, we do.
That go on.
We do, but what I was really engaged about, and I'm a man, right? I'm a guy. Well, at least I like to think I am.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
Yeah, I could totally relate. In fact, watching it right away, your lead actress is great. She kicks ass.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I can see
phenomenal.
why she can inspire you to write a story and get this done. But the struggle of a single mom, I can relate to, because my mom was a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little boy watching her and hearing her growing up,
Yeah.
battling,
Yeah.
you know, going through it to take care of me and my brother and sister. So, I mean, I can relate to it. You know, it pulled me right back. You know, that's why I look at those little kids. If I acted like those little kids, I would have got my ass whooped. So that's kind of why it just immediately got me. So, I mean, the way you're telling your story will resonate with more people than just single moms is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing.
That comment in particular, like somebody, this guy came up to me and he was just like, it's the mothering. He's
Yes.
like, that's what I mean. Everybody has a mother.
I cannot relate to that.
Yeah,
honestly.
as much as shit as that woman was going through, she still tucked her kids in and was trying to tell them a story. You know what I mean? It's those little things that I was like, you know, that's badass.
The story is hard and the message is hard and everyone needs to watch it. So, is it still in the film festival circuit?
It's still on the festival circuit
Okay.
we have some more, we're going to be in, we have a few more Oregon screenings. And then the thing I'm in the midst of right now is figuring out distribution. I have two offers and I have 3 offers. I think I'm going to go with this third one, but I'm still, it's just like, it feels like such a big decision. It probably isn't.
Well, let's
Like,
talk
they're
about
all
it.
No,
kind of
it's
the
a
same.
big decision and we can talk about
Yeah,
it
let's
or
talk
we
about
can wait and talk about it.
What do y'all know
we can
about
talk-
this?
we can-
we
First thing I would
talk
say when
about
it comes
it.
to distribution is
We have a little-
watch your ass.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a
Cover your
little
ass.
experience there.
If you lose all rights to your movie through a distributor, stop. And
Well,
get
yeah, I
an
mean,
entertainment
you have to
get
be
entertainment
careful.
counsel and have somebody read that for you. Because if it's something where you lose the rights to your movie,
Yeah.
It
I'm
can
telling you
be.
right now,
period
they're-
of time.
But
these are
see, I
all,
don't
like,
agree with that
reputable-
because I mean, even like indie rights is a 3-year contract where they get the
I'm
rights
thinking
to the
about
film.
indie rights. That's
Indie
what I'm
rights
saying. I
is great.
have
So-
offers.
that's okay.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But if they're asking for a 15-year, contract or something stupid, and that's ridiculous. That's too long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think.
What do y'all know about indie rights?
So we know.
Oh, Linda's
been
we've
on
had
our show.
Linda on.
Linda's been on the
Okay,
show.
okay,
And,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing.
We
despite
fully
support
the other
indie rights.
offers were everything I read online. There's
Yeah, they're
there's like a
great.
Facebook group. Have you seen this group?
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
No,
Yep.
well, I haven't
I have.
personally.
Yeah,
protect yourself from predatory lenders.
That's-
God,
that's-
yeah.
yeah,
predatory
that's-
distributors.
that is
My old
our
profile used to have that.
that is our friend Alex Ferrari. Yeah, he
Okay,
does that.
okay.
Yeah, he does
Yeah.
indie film rights.
Yeah.
A great big podcast that he's like the OG podcast for filmmakers.
Yes.
Yes.
He's been on the show too. We've talked to
Yeah,
him.
we've talked to him.
Okay.
Yeah, and Linda over at Indie Rights is fantastic.
Oh, she's amazing.
We've had great conversations with her, open, honest, straightforward.
Yeah.
You know, you need
Absolutely.
anything, you can get it. You want your statistics, you'll get it. You want
Yeah.
the numbers of what's going on, where it's going, what she's doing with it. She will talk to
There's
you personally.
nothing-
She's a badass.
Nothing to be hidden.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. She's not trying to get over on you. She's great.
Yeah.
So 100% we support her and indie rights.
Yeah, there's a lot of filmmakers we know that've gotten great deals and great push on their movies
We
going through
haven't
indie
we
rights.
haven't
A lot
put
of
one
them.
of ours through indie rights yet
I just
so-
don't want to do the deliverables. That was fun.
because there are a lot.
It's easier.
but,
You deliver it on a hard drive, basically. You
worth
send
it.
it down there.
Yeah, you have to
It's
send it
worth
right.
it.
Yeah,
It's the delay fear.
Yeah, I like doing everything online. If I can do it and then I didn't do something right, I can correct it right online, resubmit it, and be good to go. That's why we use Filmhub a lot. However,
worth it.
it's I think having someone like Linda and Indie Rights backing your film as an indie filmmaker is way more valuable than just doing the self distribution through Filmhub. You're getting on all the platforms, but you don't really talk to anybody. It's your hustle, your
And
thing.
Filmhub is great.
Yeah.
Don't.
It is great.
It's
It's great. And you don't lose any rights. You can pull your movie off anytime you want, do whatever you want. But you can get it on all the platforms too. But it's more of a marketplace. Kind of you put your movie
Yes.
on Filmhub,
Yeah.
distributors come, they grab it, they put it on their platform.
Whereas Linda will personally go out.
She will hustle your movie.
She will hustle your movie and work for you, and that's incredible.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can't ask for better than that. So
Yeah.
that's kind of our take
I
on
would
that.
I would highly recommend
definitely
them.
go for that.
Yeah, to do more research for yourself, obviously,
Yeah.
and have conversations with Linda. I bet you she'll sit down with you
Oh,
and chat
she
with you.
absolutely
She
will.
will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Linda's awesome.
Yeah,
Yep, she's
I
great.
am leaning toward that. But I have, there's 2 other. I feel like am I not supposed to say the company names? Anyway,
No,
there's
you
2
can,
other
it's
companies
fine.
that have.
Go ahead.
Up to you.
there's nothing wrong.
I mean, it's your
if they
choice.
dump you because you mentioned their company, it's a proof that you shouldn't have.
Yeah,
you shouldn't
fuck
have
Yeah,
run with them anyway.
exactly.
Yeah, you're not saying anything bad about them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah, so
is
they're
it?
just
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about who's got their interest in what you're doing.
Well, you got Gravitas. Gravitas. Is that
Yeah,
the other?
Gravitas.
I figured.
and
Yep.
Freestyle.
See, I know what I'm talking
And
about.
what was the other one?
Freestyle.
Freestyle. Okay. Okay.
haven't
All good ones.
I haven't yet
Absolutely,
heard
they're
of
all perfect. Indie rights.
All good
We're
ones.
brought to you by Indie Rights.
Indie rights
we
is
love
a
you, go
little
ahead and
more
just watch it.
work in the beginning, but they
Yeah.
really work. They do a lot of work for you, so they're really good to invest in and put the work into. I would say number one would be them. I haven't heard of Freestyle, but Gravitas isn't bad either.
No, they do good.
That's
They do good.
not
I mean, I've heard. I mean, you're gonna hear someone who had a bad experience on any.
Yes,
distributor.
yeah.
You're gonna hear that.
That's what you find.
You're
Yeah.
gonna
Right,
find
yeah.
that. So
Oh,
you know.
you'll always
I'm sorry
find
your
that.
movie
So-
wasn't good enough. Nobody wanted to tell you, but they distributed
Right.
it anyway.
Yeah, there's always going to be somebody that has
Always,
something to say.
I know.
But, you know, overall, for the amount of filmmakers I know that have gone your route and our route that went to indie rights, we're very happy.
Yeah.
So, just saying.
Yeah,
Just saying.
that's one.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a very
helpful.
safe.
Yeah. And
very
I've heard
safe.
good things about Gravitas, too. You know,
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
heard a few more stories where their contracts are a little more deep.
Yeah.
Where you're
it's
going to
10
have,
years.
Yeah.
10-year one, where you're going to have, you know, less control of your film. But, you know, that's up to you.
That is up to you.
Yeah. Yep. But I can
More expensive to go with them.
Yeah, because and that's another thing. Insurance. I mean, indie rights, you don't have to pay for that.
That's right.
There's
yeah.
So you're going to save money as a filmmaker. So it depends on what you want to do. You know
Spend
what I mean?
it for 2
Me,
years,
I
see
want
how
to
it
save the
feels,
money.
and then go from there.
Yeah, saving money. Put it in your movie.
And
Next
us
movie. You know
indie
what I mean?
filmmakers
That's
don't
what I
have a
think.
lot of money, do we? So
No.
we
Right.
want to try to do the best solution with the little money that we have.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know,
We want the best outcome
Yeah.
with what little pennies we got.
you save some
Yeah.
money on getting that
That's
movie
exactly.
out, and the next movie you've got a little bit more in your pocketbook. You could pay those actors just a tad bit more. You know, the crew a
Yep.
tad bit
Yeah.
more. You know,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
go and you instead of getting the fucking cheap pizza, you can go get like you know, something good.
And I don't have anything bad to say about Grab.
But it's DiGiorno.
But indie rights, you know, you definitely get your money's worth there. I mean, and the money's worth is doing all of the specs that you got to do and putting everything in line
Yeah.
and getting everything together. And it's rough and it's a lot, but it's worth it in the end because they really do work for you.
Yeah.
So your money's worth is there.
And I'm
for
sure they all do, but, you
And,
know.
yeah.
There's
Well,
a
I think the deliverables are actually less than what the other.
do you
companies-
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
I didn't
For
want.
real?
I didn't want to
I
send
thought
it.
they were hardcore.
No, I was cheap. I didn't want to send.
You don't have to send a hard drive. It's true. The Indie
Yeah, I
Rights does
had
have
to
that,
send a
but-
hard drive, and then if
But
I.
their list of things is smaller.
It
than,
is. It is.
Yeah.
She's right.
The other
She's
one.
right. However,
Yeah, I
if
didn't
I
know
if
that.
I wasn't confident in my skills with deliverables at that point with Sam's
Yeah.
movie, The Giant Pacific Octopus, so if I sent it and they said, "Oh, it's not right," then I have to
fee.
get it back. There's a fee, like $275
Yeah,
or $300
$280 or something,
Yeah,
yeah.
thank you. And I didn't want to do that. Where I knew if I did it on Filmhub and I fucked it up, I can just go in there and correct it and re-upload it. See, that's where I was.
Okay.
But that's where I was at that
upload
time.
so
the-
he's cheap.
I want to hear
y'all.
about Filmhub.
Now,
wanna hear
Filmhub
about
has been
Filmhub.
good to us. We don't have complaints, do we?
No,
about them?
Filmhub
They've
is a
been
great
to us.
marketplace, and it's not a true distributor. It's more or less like it's
Aggregator.
It's an aggregator in a way. Yes, it's an 80-20 split with the filmmakers. No different than anything else, but they have access to all the streaming sites just like anybody else. So they may not have access to like Netflix or anything like that. But how rare is that anyway? But there's a shot to get on Hulu through Filmhub. What are some of the other ones? The bigger platforms, Google Play, Vudu.
They don't advocate
all of
for
them.
you.
All of
Well,
them are
they're
up
really
there.
good for Tubi TV, and Tubi TV is still
Yeah.
hot right now.
Tubi
Yeah.
TV is the moneymaker of all moneymakers for indie filmmakers right now.
They don't necessarily advocate for you as much as say Linda would
Right.
with indie rights.
Yes.
She will actually go out there and get your movie, personally, she does that, and that's
And
like priceless to me.
And the CEO,
But,
the CEO of Filmhub is doing a lot of moves, and he has been this last 6 months. He's been doing a lot of changes and helping out. I watched him on Jay Horton's podcast, where he had a lot of questions and where Filmhub is going. And there's a lot of big deals that they're making with other companies to get the access to access their streaming platforms. They are also doing more calling now, where they are selling your movie. So they're contacting these companies and saying, "Hey, we got this movie." So they are doing that now.
oh, they are.
They are
now.
doing that
Oh,
now. Not as much
gosh.
as probably Linda does and
Yeah.
and Indie Rights, but they're on their way in that
They're going in that direction.
in that direction. Yes. So
That's good.
and there's no fees. There's nothing. It's
Yeah.
free. You don't have to spend a dime. Everything comes off the back end on that 20% that you're giving them. But next thing you know, like Sam's movie's up on like 12 platforms right now. You know, it's great.
Yeah.
You
But the
know,
thing
and every
that's-
month she's making money, so
The
it's
thing
cool.
that's hard about indie filmmaking is that things are always changing. And so as soon as, you know, something's great for a minute, you know, like Amazon Prime was great for a minute, but
was.
you know, but then it wasn't anymore. And so things change consistently, and I found with documentary filmmaking in particular is hard. It's difficult because not everyone wants to they don't want to support a documentary or whatever at the time, and that's what Amazon
didn't want to.
decided that they didn't want.
They didn't want indie docs right now. Yeah.
Indie docs, yeah.
But you know, there's so many platforms and so many educational ones that you're now making money off of. I looked at the
Yeah.
statistics yesterday on Sam's Film, Dawn, and from last month it was played in 7 countries.
Wow.
This last month it jumped to 36 different countries that this
That's
movie had
incredible.
played in.
That's cool.
In
That's
this
so
last
cool.
month, she has been making consistent money that's way higher than the norm for her one film. From what
Wow.
I'm hearing from other filmmakers, I tell them what we're making, and they're like, "Damn, that's pretty good." Even Jay Horton said it. He was like, "Damn, that's pretty good. That's actually
Living
really
the
good for this
dream.
movie."
That's cool.
You know,
I mean,
and-
that's
It's good.
Yeah. And it's not like it's money where we can retire or anything, but when you know, if you're making, you know, anywhere from $500,000 a month on your movie from one platform, and you think about, God, if I had 3 or 4 or 5 movies out there,
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can.
Yeah.
You might be able to make.
what
a living.
are you saying?
Well, you might be
Then-
able to do this for a living.
yeah, now you're a middle income filmmaker, right? You're
Yeah.
kind of doing your thing, and that's
that's
pretty
the
cool. And that's like
process.
marketing something on your own on social media, nothing more.
Yeah, we haven't.
Nothing
done-
more. It's
And
it's
we
been
have-
word of mouth.
We have not done the film festival
Nope,
circuits.
nope.
Which you know, I'm really curious about. Aaron isn't as much. Chuck is probably in
50-50.
between.
Yeah, he's like the bridge.
He's in between. But yeah, I don't know really. I'm making a documentary right now that I'm really interested in possibly doing the film festival circuits. I need to learn more is what I need to do. But yeah, we have steered clear of those thus far, but I don't know. I'm curious about what that might be able to do.
And we'll-
As
Well,
far
my
as meeting
mindset-
people and you know, getting
yeah.
Dawn,
I mean-
before we get into your experience, Dawn, really quick, I just wanted to say my problem with the whole idea of a film festival is I watch some people go through the film festivals and they get some really great accolades. But then because of so many film festivals, you can't release it to platforms until it's gone through their festival circuit.
Yeah.
And by the time it gets to the festival circuit and then it gets released, they're not necessarily making any more money than what we are, and they've gone a year and a half without doing it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
at the beginning, my thought process has been like, okay, we made it. Let's start making money on it if we can,
Yeah.
or get it out there just so people can see it. So
Well,
we can
time
get
is
in-
money.
see what people are
Exactly.
liking.
Yeah, and that's what old people think like, Don. 'Cause
And so
we're
right
old.
now, you know,
we are. Yeah.
we gotta get
Dan's
the, we don't got a lot of time left,
documentary
man.
is the
We
Dan's
wasted a
documentary is the
lot
best-
of time.
I mean,
documentary
yeah.
is the best thing that we've been making, and now she's working on another documentary.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
I
get
get
that out
it.
within
You're
this
right.
next year.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah,
it's
the waiting.
taking
And then
longer.
that's why
Yeah.
it's hard to imagine putting it into the film festival circuit. Whereas I can see some of the benefits. However, I see that it's just going to be a process or a longer period of time before I can see money being made on it. And
Yeah, that's
ultimately,
true.
I'm making them to make money. I'm not.
That's the goal.
You know,
Yeah.
that is the goal. I mean, I'm making them more than anything to send a message, but
But the
I
money,
am making them to make money. That's
so that
what
you
I
can
want
tell
to
more
ultimately
stories.
do.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the whole
exactly.
point.
Yeah.
The more
So-
stories you can tell,
I mean,
the
to
more
have
people you
both,
can reach.
to make a film you love
exactly.
and to make money. Like
Yes.
That's
yeah.
the goal.
Yeah, that
I mean,
is the
honestly,
goal.
like it's not something I thought as much about. Like that, I think that's the thing you learn with your first feature is like, where's the audience? One of the cool things about this is that we got into this program called US in Progress, and we shot it in July of 2021, and I think I applied in like September, and then we were accepted. So my producer and I, Tara, went to Poland. It takes place in Wrocław, Poland,
Wow.
and we screened a work in progress. And when I got there, first of all, like everyone else, they were like way more established filmmakers. Carter Smith, who like does Blumhouse directing,
Oh, wow.
and Pete
Yeah.
O's, who had this super cool film called Jethica that then later got into South by Southwest. They all like had these like, you know, fancier films, and it had been finished production like a year earlier. And,
Right,
like I had
right.
this very like rough thing, and it wasn't. The whole thing is it's supposed to be a work in progress. It's not open to the public. They do it because they want to attract filmmakers to hire them for like visual effects.
Yes,
So they would go
networking,
there,
networking.
services.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's just weird. I'd never heard of it, but they only had 6 of us that came from the United States and Canada.
Wow.
And it was really, really cool to just be together with these other filmmakers.
Mhm.
And it was the first time when they had all these people from the European film market come and meet with us. And I have never done any kind of, because I'd only made shorts, right? And
Right.
yeah, I'm lucky enough to have one of them distributed, but like, it was just this whole other thing. Everyone says, what are you going to do with it afterwards? What's your market?
Yeah.
And, what's your plan? And I'm just like,
What's your-
go to some festivals or people will watch it. I don't know. And so we sat down at these tables, one-on-one and met with all these distributors and like, they're just like down to business. Well, China's not going to like this film because it's got spirituality in it.
Yeah.
And someone, just like, they know the
Different cultures and all that.
That niche.
Yeah, what they like,
Narrowing
and I
down
was
that
just
niche
like-
audience, man.
Yeah.
And
What
it
a
just
great
was
experience,
so
though.
eye-opening to like
Yeah.
actually talk to the people that are like what they're thinking. And it's gatekeeping, honestly. Like they're
Yeah.
just guessing like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't think people are going to watch this, or I think
Right.
people are going to watch it. Like they don't actually know. Like
They don't
and
know.
part of my job, and some of that happens on the festival circuit, is like proving there's an audience for my film. Besides the like joy of actually being in the room with people and connecting with an audience and having that, and I get to talk about that too. And I'm also like building our social media account, which I've worked hard on over time to have, a little bit of a following,
And that's a full-time
Learning.
job right there. Sometimes.
yeah. But I now know also, like I've kind of been, there's people that have seen the film all around the country, and when we come out, like those are folks that are gonna help us promote it
Yeah.
when we're ready
Goddamn
to
right.
online.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
absolutely.
absolutely
Because
right.
those people are going to tell people about it. Because if you see something and it's powerful and it gives you goosebumps or it's great, they're going to tell somebody.
Mhm.
That's just how it works. I
Yep.
mean, that's how it always has worked.
Yeah.
Where you tell someone, "Ooh, you got to see this." How many times do you say to someone, "You got to see this movie. You got to see this movie"?
I say it a lot.
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
say it
to.
a ton.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, that's how it works. And I think that you have an incredible talent, Dawn, and you need to not stop. Keep going. Keep
Yeah.
making these films because you have a gift there.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's not many times you see a feature come out where it's, I hate to say it, but it's genuinely watchable.
Yeah,
Where you're
I
like,
mean,
this
for
is pretty
everyone.
good. For an
For
indie
everyone.
filmmaker, it's very rare. It is.
It is.
It's not easy to do, and everybody has their movies they make, and they're like, okay, I could do way better than that, and then they come back later and they make a better one, But for your first feature, this is fucking
It's
good.
incredible. And
It's really
and
good.
it's vast as far as your
Yeah.
audience and who you can
I
like
think
I
so.
said, I was surprised that Aaron connected with the movie and really was into it.
Well, I
I really
connected to my
was
feminine
because
side.
I
I
was
got
like,
feminine
oh,
side.
is this going to be like a me movie? I don't know. I
Totally
just thought it was going to be a me movie.
No.
But he connected to it too, which showed me how vast your audience truly
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
and
that's
can
a really
be.
interesting.
I mean, and it is a woman
Yeah.
empowering film. I mean, there's no doubt
Yeah.
about that. That's your audience, obviously, right? But
Well,
you know,
yeah,
I
but like
think
you said,
I think it'll branch.
Yeah.
It'll move to more. So
everyone can connect with it, and
Yeah.
that's ultimately, that's something that's really special to be able to do.
Mhm.
Because I always looked at, when I made my octopus movie, I looked at it like, I'm really narrowing the field down to Tacoma and divers and like people that
love the ocean,
Yeah.
right? And the life.
I really did think that. And I was surprised to see that there were more people that were interested or got something out of it.
Yeah.
But you know that, your audience is very vast. And I think that that's an incredible talent. And you need to use that platform and send messages that are good and everyone needs to hear, because that's awesome. That's like my ultimate goal. If I can get there, I'm gold.
go.
If I can get to the,
Yeah.
somewhere where I can reach everyone and kind of make, and I was happy with the audience that I got from the octopus and that other people that I didn't expect to be interested in it, like other countries. Really, it's about Tacoma.
Yeah, they're all watching.
So I was
It's
like
real. You never know.
super. I was humbled by that.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Definitely
find it.
humbled by
and,
that.
and Don will feel the same thing. You'll see. You'll see.
like, Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you figure out what distribution company go with, once you figure that
Yeah.
out,
I
you'll
think
be
I know,
good.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
what you've
I know you
created
do.
is gold, and it's awesome, and you need to keep making them.
Yeah.
And we want to see your comedies. I'm dying to see your comedies.
Yeah.
I want to see your-
No, that's it really, I'm just in awe of any time that happens. Like it means so much to me. It's just, I mean, especially you know how hard it is to make something.
Yes,
so
I do. Yeah,
it's
we all
like
do.
most people don't know. You
Yeah,
know, they
right.
like a sliver of production. Oh, you
Mhm.
shot something for a few weeks, and
Right.
it's like a big part of my life.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what's fun? I don't.
Production cost me all of my hair, one relationship, and
Yeah. I don't
The
feel
color
like
in my hair.
I don't feel like making movies is hard at all. I don't. It's weird. I
No?
love like we're filming tonight and tomorrow. We're doing another short. I absolutely
You
love
enjoy
it.
it.
I fucking just
It's a lot
love
of
doing
work.
it. It's work,
It's a lot
yeah,
of
but
work.
I'm never worn out. I'm never tired. I love doing it. I'm not stressed out.
I'm exhausted.
The only time that I feel stressed out or I don't like it is scheduling. I hate fucking scheduling. It's bullshit.
there's nothing better than last minute changes too, Aaron, right?
Yeah, like what happened today. And it's just like, oh my God. It's like, okay,
I apologize, Dawn. I'm producing the shit out of this while we're doing
thank
the
you for
show.
doing that, Chuck. We are doing, when you're doing some of these shorts, especially what we're doing for the Horrorverse. It's our YouTube series that we're doing.
The Horrorverse. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's on
check
YouTube.
it
It's
out.
on our page.
Finding it.
She's pulling up right now.
We've got an 11 episode season that that we're creating, and it's a lot of it, bringing back nostalgia, like all the monsters and Jason and Michael and Freddy and all these creature features from the 70s, 80s, and 90s that we're tying together in our own narrative story. It's kind of fun with our own new characters that are dealing with these monsters. So, anyway, long story short, it's like, okay, this is obviously fan filmage. Okay, we're doing fan film kind of thing for the audience. We're building an audience, which is awesome. All these things are working, but it was really for me to highlight how awesome the talent is up here in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Tacoma area. Okay, because we got a lot of people up here that are great, and a lot of them don't get those opportunities that I think they should get and deserve. Yeah. So I wanted to do something where we could get some of this talent and pool us all together, right? And we've got a team of about almost 70 people now, Chuck, I think.
Wow.
All working together and making this series. And no one's talking about money. It's not about the money. It's about the art form. And it's about the
And the
story
collaboration.
and the collaboration and highlighting us in the best fucking way we can on a no budget level and
what I
show
can
people
do.
what you can make with no money if everybody is passionate about it. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's working. Okay, it's working. But here's the kicker. It's like, but when you're not paying people to be there, scheduling is fucking hard.
Scheduling is I can't.
Because they're not going to make me a priority or the series a priority when they got a paying job over here or they got to go to the day job or they got family shit going on and I'm not giving them like a good day wage to come and work for us.
Well, there's value in it.
so you got to figure it out,
But
and it's
you-
frustratingly hard.
There's value in it, but when you don't got gas money to get there,
What the fuck you gonna do, right?
then that's not enough value.
Yeah, it's no value at all. I'm driving to Polesbo today. I ain't got no gas. I mean, that's what you get. I'm like, I hear you. I'll pay for
Well,
your
here's
gas.
a great example. Let's just talk about it on the show. So 2 days ago, we lost 4 of our 8 extras.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And then today, we almost lost 1 more.
Yeah.
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 Today, we lost a cinematographer.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
lost our second camera.
Yeah.
It's like,
And
Yeah.
well, I mean, because you have
now,
a bunch of people.
this is all the prelim stuff. We still don't know what's going to happen because, you have extras, you have all these things that come up. You never know who might not just show up
Right.
at time
which
filming.
can
Right.
happen
So
a time or two.
Usually does happen. So you have to lose.
Sometimes.
You
Which
have
is,
to figure a loss of about 25% every time you figure out and you schedule something.
but that is why CCC Entertainment Group is good, because
Why?
we have been doing this for 20 some years, and we know how to do it on our own if we have to. If it's just us, we can do it. But it's better and always is with more of the collaborators we have. So worst case scenario is I'm grabbing the fucking camera. I'm filming
While wearing a
You're
coat
by yourself.
robe.
You're by yourself.
I'm by myself. I've done it before. I could do it again. You know
you have
what?
done
And
it
it's
before.
fine. It's fine. It's just, it's a bummer that real life gets in the way. I
It
guess is
does.
what I'm
It
saying.
does. Because not
That's a
everyone.
bummer.
I mean, everyone. We have a great amount of support from people.
We sure as fuck do.
And because we're trying to put everyone in this, we're trying to highlight everyone. We're trying to give everyone's special talent a highlight and let everyone know that we're cool here.
Yeah.
And you should.
That sounds
check
really
us out.
fun, like a community project.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it
really
is.
what we're
We need a
trying to do.
cinematographer. Grab your camera and get your ass up.
Yeah, not just with our podcast, but with what we make.
Yeah.
We just try to include everyone that's got talent and trying to do something with their talent.
Yeah.
and try to just make something cool with all of us. Because let's be honest, movie making is a collaboration.
Absolutely
I
is.
mean, you can't do it. One person cannot make a movie by themselves. They can't. Like, who's gonna act if you? I mean, it's
It'd
a
be
collaboration.
Tough. It can be done,
So-
but it would be hard.
Well,
but and how
I
many
don't
of those
know.
can you make? You know, it's like, here's my solo movie again.
It'd
It's
be
like,
rough.
oh my god.
Yeah, no, it'd be rough. I mean, and we need everybody, literally everybody. We need an audience. We need actors.
You
we
need
need
people.
to film it.
You
We
need
need
people.
everybody. So it's a collaboration,
Yeah.
and just to bring everyone together that has a talent or has that drive to do it is important, I think, and especially in an area. And I think Portland has a special film
community too.
community
Yeah, absolutely,
as
you guys
well.
do.
And yeah. So it'd be cool. One of these days, we're gonna connect with you all down there,
We'll be
Yeah.
down there soon.
and we're
Yeah,
gonna make a
love it.
big old cool thing.
Yeah.
The Portland.
No, we've
That's good.
got some connections down there
Yeah,
too.
we do.
It's just we haven't
There's
been down
some
there
great
yet. Some
talent.
great people down there.
Great talent.
No,
What-
it's fun,
I'm-
Dawn.
I'm curious what you think about. You were talking about like if you can make a movie by yourself. Are you familiar with Gnome Kroll? I assume that you are.
No, I don't know
I'm
who
not.
that is.
Not at all.
Oh, Google Gnome Kroll.
Okay. Will
He's
do.
just someone who talks about making a feature as a one-person crew.
Okay.
And
No kidding.
I
some
know.
success. He has a following because of his educational content,
I
but
have to
he's
check
also a
this out.
filmmaker.
Okay.
That's how I think he earns a living now from these courses that he puts out and talks about. But he's also making films, and it's just something, I get his newsletter and I look at it and I'm just like, this is interesting.
Oh, that's badass.
That is crazy.
There's only one person I know that did a movie, and he's still working on it by himself, and that's Josh Stifter. He's doing that
Oh,
one,
Josh.
in his basement alone, filming it all himself, just him, and it's an isolation piece. That's what he's doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can-
and it makes
yeah.
sense, and he's
It's the
filming
right
it all
story.
himself, doing it all. That's the only guy I know right now that's trying to do one of those.
I think he has other actors, but he's just like very specific about how to, just work weekends, or like he has all these ways,
Mhm.
but he's been around and
That's
done
cool.
a variety of things that's interesting.
Aaron's,
We'll
you're
find
the
him.
closest thing to a jack of all trades in the.
Only reason I did that is because I thought that's what you had to do when we started this. I didn't know that there was all these other positions.
There's other people.
I didn't
have
know.
someone
No,
new,
I thought we had to
no?
figure it out. Like we had to know how to record audio and make the movie and then color it and do all that.
But he learned it all, so
Yeah.
that's very valuable.
I just tried to do all that on my own, and now it's beneficial because we don't have to hire anybody to do it. I can do it all.
Well,
Yeah.
it's nice to hire people.
It is. But I mean, I'm so used to it. It's like, well, we save money that way, We
True.
do.
True.
We do. I mean, I should be paid more. Honestly.
Anyway, so let's move along.
Sorry.
Oh,
Dawn.
you're getting paid at all?
I should be paid for putting up with you.
You
is
should be.
what I-
You got that right. Damn right. All right, so Dawn, you've got some comedies you're working on. Where are you at on those before we end the show? What's going on?
Yes, I've been in the writing process with a friend of mine that's it's currently called The Token, and it's partly inspired by the making of Mother of Color, and it's a story that's kind of a mashup of 9 to 5 and film industry.
Oh, badass.
I love it.
A producer who is constantly being held down by the executive producer finds a way to sort of secretly take over production and do things the way that she wants to do.
Oh,
And
I love it.
Badass.
It's a comedy, and it's been a lot of fun to write, and we've been working on it for a year now. My friend Annie Tongsiangsum and we're hoping to submit to some labs later this year. I'm curious about that route. I haven't done that, but had success with that before in the past. So I think we might try something like that. And then there's another. I just got a grant to do a proof of concept for a feature film about a woman who agrees to have a experimental device attached to her that will give her the capacity to regrow her ability to feel again.
Interesting.
That's
good
freaking good
stuff.
stuff.
Sign Aaron up.
Yeah,
Sci-fi comedy. Sci-fi comedy.
I love it.
No, that's great.
That's like Black Mirror stuff. I love it. That's cool.
Opportunities are going to keep coming to you, Dawn, because you're very talented.
Yes,
and
she
you're,
is.
Well, I'd like as a producer type person, I would like to give you a fair warning. You sounds like your comedy is going to be very genre based around the independent film market, and we're all fucking broke. So you might want to broaden that spectrum as to who that could be interested in, because ain't nobody gonna pay for your movie because they ain't got no money to watch it.
Which one? You mean the one about movie making?
The one about the 9 to 5 and the movie makers.
Yeah.
Stop rubbing your face, Sam. You know I'm telling the truth.
I don't know. You don't think I mean, if that film is a bigger budget film, and we've had the conversation like maybe we would make it ourselves, or more likely we would need to do proper financing for it, like the bigger.
Yeah,
I wanted to have something. I wanted to have something that was like. The thing I've been saying is I can't do what I just did again. Like I didn't have investors. I did Kickstarter. I had 1 million grants. I had a bunch of small grants. I had a couple of private investors. I don't have anyone that I have to pay back, which I feel really grateful for a narrative.
Yeah, that's great.
Our budget level, but I can't do that again. I can't keep going back to the same people that were, it's my community.
Right.
So the 2 projects are one that's like a whole lot bigger and needs a lot more financing, and then there's one that's a lot smaller, which is the sci-fi comedy. So I'm trying to figure it out. Like what, I just want to keep making things.
You will. You'll figure it out.
You will figure it out.
Yeah, you absolutely will. It always falls into place, especially when you keep doing it. You're going to think about it every fucking day. And next thing you know, the door will open and you'll be like, okay, that's it. Let's go. And you'll go and you won't look back. That's
when you're where you are supposed to be, things keep happening and
goddamn right,
falling in place.
Yes.
And you'll know.
It happens all the time.
That's where you're supposed to be.
So kind.
And that's why I look at it too. Even though we lost some people for our shoots this weekend, it's like, I think it was for a reason. That's how I look at it. And
everything is.
It's fine.
Everything's for a reason.
Yeah. Remember, filmmaking, you got into this because it's fun, right? And it's exciting and it makes you feel good. It's not stressful. So don't get stressed out. It's not that big of a deal.
It's not really worth it. No, I mean, what is it going to do for you?
You stress out about the bills or the dishes or fucking kids and all that stuff. Movies. No, I never stress it out. You'll be fine. And you're too good of a filmmaker.
If you make your kids do the dishes, you kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, for finally making this happen.
Yes,
absolutely,
finally.
Yeah,
we've been working on it for a while.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you.
Awesome.
It really has. It really has. And good for you. Good for you.
Meet you. Yeah, great.
Please.
I'm going to be looking out for your series and your film.
Well, thank you. Yeah, please, if you don't mind. And if you do get a chance, remember to think of us with your movie and send us that fresh link just to try it. Because I'd like to finish it.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Please and thank you.
And if you need anything at all, any advice, any help, anything, please let us know.
Run it past us.
We've
been doing it for a minute.
If you need a soundboard, we're good for that.
And
that's amazing.
And if we don't know the answer, we know other filmmakers that are further along than we are that will tell us.
We'll find it.
We can help you.
Okay.
That's the good thing about this podcast is we know a ton of people, so we can usually, if we don't know, hook you up with someone who does.
Yep.
So use us.
You got us.
And ask us questions and do that,
Because that's what Around the Reel is. It's for everybody. That's what this show is fucking
and
for.
And someday, if we're lucky, we can collaborate with you on something, and that would be cool too.
Oh yeah, I would love it. Yeah,
that's one way for us to get ourselves into Portland.
Come on down.
We've been trying.
I feel like I have to say a disclaimer. Every time Sam blurts out, "Use us." I'm like, just use me. I'm happy to be here for you. Just use me.
I like being used. Use me.
Dawn Jones Redstone. Chuck, you want to close out the show, my man?
Oh, Dawn Jones Redstone. Thank you very much for joining us today on Around the Reel. Thank you for hanging out for a conversation of all things movies, all things of what we can do, what we can't do, what we dream to do, and what we always want to try to achieve, which is chasing some type of dream. So keep chasing that dream, do what you can. Now, going off of some of the tangents I didn't go off on earlier because I was too busy making sure I was listening and not just waiting to talk, because waiting to talk and not paying attention to what's being said around you is very fucking rude. So that being said, let me go off on a tangent really quick. Sam made a comment earlier about the fact that people still don't understand the gay community. If you don't understand the gay community, well, media has a big part of that, because if you think back to the 80s, 40 fucking years ago, by the way, what happened? AIDS happened, and they blamed it on the gay community. So everybody's, fuck that. Everybody stop being stupid, stop burying your head in the fucking sand, stop listening to everything that's piped into your fucking head. Go back and watch They Live, John Carpenter from 1987. Anyway, it's a great way to think that if you sit there and listen to absolutely everything that everybody else is listening to, you might not have your own original thought. And if you're an independent filmmaker, you have to have original thoughts, because you got to get your content out there. And right now, get your shit out there, because streaming platforms are available or inexpensive right now, because nobody can make shit because everybody's on strike. Everybody out there, remember, think hard, because you think it anyway.
That's a good ending right there. We'll see everybody later.
All right. Take care. Thank you again.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Great.
For those of you that want to be a guest on Around the Reel, please email Sam at aroundthereel253
gmail.com.
That's aroundthereal253@gmail.com.
Not Messenger. Do not message Aaron on Messenger because then he has to send you a message that says email Sam at aroundthereal253@gmail.com.
That's aroundthereal253@gmail.com.
How come they can't just message me again?
Because nobody wants to fucking talk to you.
Can anybody reach out? That's an artist, filmmaker, actor?
If you're an artist of any kind, we want to hear from you.
But we are going to vet the crap out of you.
We don't care if you make millions of dollars in Hollywood or if you're just beginning your career in the art industry. We don't care. So everybody that wants to be on Around the Reel, yes, we want you.
That's aroundthereal253@gmail.com.